A former community college professor who's no stranger to life in the White House. During the Obama years, Dr. Jill Biden used to refer herself affectionately as captain of the Vice Squad. So just how will the new First Lady of the United States define her role? For more, I'm joined now live from Boston by Dr. Tammy Vigil, Associate Professor of Communications at Boston University. Also joining us live from Arlington in North Virginia is one of the First Lady's former students, Nazila Jamshidi, a graduate of Northern Virginia Community College. Hello to you both. Thank you for being with us. Dr. Vigil, unlike Melania Trump entering the White House, Joe Biden is no stranger to Washington and its ways, is she? She served 2 terms as Second Lady. She knows what to expect. How will she shape the role in her own way?
I think that Jill Biden has a lot of opportunities to do some interesting things with the First Ladyship. As you noted, she does have a lot of experience and does understand that basically in the United States, the First Lady is expected to fulfill at least 4 specific kinds of roles. One is being the national hostess. The second is being a public social advocate. Also being a figure of compassion. I like to refer to them as like the co-consoler in chief, and also as a female role model, or and sometimes gets equated to fashion icon. And I think with Jill Biden, her experience and the fact that she's already started, she's created quite a nice staff with a lot of experience, both working with her and working in Washington, means that it signals that she's going to be an active First Lady, that her balancing between maintaining a full-time job outside of the White House and the full-time job of being First Lady is something that's very important to her. She's already started doing things like relaunching the Joining Forces Association to try to help military families. She's also, as we saw the other night, creating the consoler-in-chief kind of idea at the COVID memorial service. And also just being someone who can show how women are balancing life in the home and outside of the home by continuing to work as a professor, I think is really inspiring and gives some new direction to the First Ladyship that has been missing for quite a while.
And Nazila Jamshidi, as we said in the introduction, you were taught by Dr. Biden. Tell us about your experiences of her and what you expect from her as First Lady.
In my 2 years at Northern Virginia Community College, I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Biden on some women's empowerment project through the Women's Center. So I know Dr. Biden as a very dedicated educator and very passionate about the role of community college in changing the lives of many Americans as well as future American citizens. And by that, I mean immigrants. Dr. Biden was among the professors at NOVA who inspired her students and those who work under her leadership to aim higher and to not give up on their American dreams, so regardless of their circumstances and their status in the society. So to me, Dr. Biden, even beyond the classroom, Dr. Biden led and supported various leadership empowerment programs and advocated for the services that a student needed to pursue a successful academic career. For example, she created a mentorship program through which a student received the necessary direction and advices in order to fulfill their educational goal. That mentoring program assisted many students in achieving what they dreamed for. I am one of those students. Pursuing an education in my most liked field of study and at Georgetown University was a lifetime dream. 3 years ago, I was surrounded by hundreds of uncertainties and challenges as a newcomer immigrant and as a non-traditional student. And I couldn't even imagine that I can make it to where I have always dreamed for under the guidance and leadership of dedicated mentors like Dr. Biden. I'm directed on the same path of opportunity that society can offer for every citizen. So about the like what I expect from her and which kind of first lady she's going to make, I think Dr. Biden's experience teaching at community college will bring a different set of experience than many other White House occupants at the White House. As a community college professor, Dr. Biden saw firsthand the challenges and difficulties that a student of color, financially disadvantaged student, immigrant student, and non-traditional student face as they take a step toward their education and achieving their American dreams. So she was among the team. I saw her among the team who fight every day to guide a student for a better life. And I think her experience as an educator gives her a unique perspective about today's American society, about Americans' struggle, about immigrants' struggle, and the ways to change the society for better. So having said that, Dr. Biden will make a caring first lady whose passion for education will significantly contribute to altering the policies and laws that can facilitate access to education for all social class citizens and immigrants seeking a future in the United States.
I mean, while we're talking about the role of the First Lady, we mustn't forget we have a second gentleman, Dr. Tammy Vigil, for the first time, Doug Emhoff. He's going to teach too, but how is he going to shape that role?
Well, I think that Doug Emhoff has a really interesting opportunity here to really role model a different type of American masculinity. Oftentimes we talk about the sort of toxic version of masculinity, and he has the opportunity here to really show himself as a supportive spouse, as someone who doesn't need to be in the spotlight, but can actually help shine the light on the vice president instead. Oftentimes, here in the United States, the second lady or second spouse sort of gets relegated to a lower level of attention and has less influence than obviously the first lady would. And sometimes they actually just kind of disappear and can be pretty anonymous. I don't think that's going to be the case, though, with Mr. Emhoff. I think he's going to garner a lot of attention simply because of the novelty of being a male in this position. And I think he needs to be very thoughtful and mindful about the ways in which he both assumes some of the traditional roles of what used to be the second lady, but now is the second spouse, and also what he can do that's new and that's reviving that position and giving it a little bit more power and attention, and actually finding some ways to support Vice President Harris, as well as to advocate for things that he believes are important as well.
Okay, Dr. Tammy Vigil, Nazila Jamshidi, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Let's take a look now at some of the day's other news. Britain's largest